Got a lot of followers here in the Montreal Forum.
Well, this time last year, Bob Barry and Jacques Lemaire were standing side by side, with Lemaire assisting Barry here in Montreal. Tonight they are opposing head coaches as the Canadiens' home season is underway. They've got young Tom Curvers on defense along with Chris Chelios. They are both rookies. Curvers more so, of course, as John Chabot shoots the puck in, and it takes a funny bounce off the backboard. Dion going the other way, but the Penguins clear it out of harm's way to center ice. Curvers to Chabot. He's fouled down by Pat Boutet as he goes parallel to the blue line, and the Penguins around back behind the net for Mo Mantha, one of the newcomers from a Pittsburgh standpoint, ex of the Winnipeg Jets, a teammate of Serge Savard's back there. Curvers back to Chelios, and Chabot tips it ahead. Lucien Dubois, right side, fires it right on. Dion came out, blocked the angle, makes the save. Dave Hannon in the corner along the boards battling. Mantha pinning Dubois. They were teammates a year ago. And Wayne Babbage, another story there in the Penguins lineup. And it's Carbonneau, Chris Nyland up front, along with Gainey for the Canadiens as Rick Green's shot deflected. And Kehoe dumps it out to center ice. Nyland picks it up there. Kehoe intercepts. Ahead for Lemieux, who eases it past Larry Robinson, who got a tremendous hand when he was introduced. Green around behind the net to Nyland, who's tied up as the defense pinches in, but following up is Carbonneau. He's got Gainey on the left side. Gainey from Carbonneau, back to Carbonneau. He scores! The Canadiens take a 1-0 lead. What a beautiful play.
Well, a beautiful play it was, Dick, and you know, they're a good example. We're going to see this all night long with Lemieux on the ice. Carbonneau's line is going to be out there. Speaking of a defensive specialist, he gets the first goal of the Montreal home season here. Perfect play from Bob Gainey. A give and go, Carbonneau to Gainey. He fakes out Dion, back to Carbonneau, the open net. And in a defensive role, Carbonneau puts the Canadiens up 1-0.
Carbonneau stripped the puck from young Doug Bodger, number 33. 1-1-1, the time of the opening goal for the Forum's hockey season. 1-11, Carbonneau from Gainey and Green. Here's a near giveaway by Chelios, and Svoboda, as they are in trouble, in back behind the Montreal line. Tremblay, who didn't play in Buffalo Thursday, ahead to Mondu. They're up there with Naslin, the line that played throughout all of last season. Good moves by Naslin. He's hauled down. We're going to have a Pittsburgh penalty here. Canadiens in control, but an interception by...
It's been a cause of concern even back to last year, Dick, the power play of the Canadiens. Let's see what they do here.
I'm going to say sounds familiar. Penguins shoot it down the ice. Mickey, it has to be tough, though, in the early season. Teams experiment a lot in training camp. They don't really get a power play lineup set up.
No, a lot of them don't. The teams that have got the good ones, of course, don't have to worry about it, but they later in the season get into practicing a lot.
Robinson to Lafleur to Bobby Smith. Smith, sharp angle shot. Dion the save. Lafleur hops to it, bumping with Pat Boutet. Steve Shutt, and the Penguins, but looking for one for quite a while, going back to March 1st of last year in the regular season through the playoff games he played in, and Buffalo the other night. He's had a good camp, Mick, and he skated awfully well. Tom Curvers, a youngster on defense, number 18, clears it. It's into the corner. Smith bumped it with Mantha. Fox against Steve Shutt in the corner. Hannon dumps it out to center ice. A minute 17 left on the Pittsburgh penalty to Maxwell. This is Curvers, voted the outstanding college hockey player in the USA last year. Lafleur takes a pass from Robinson, right side. Hauled down. We have another Pittsburgh penalty here. They'll be too short. Unless the Canadiens score, they still have control, or did have.
First one where Naslin was hauled down. Nevertheless, Montreal a two-man advantage.
Tom Curvers with the puck there. Couldn't get a shot away. A little over-eagerness by the rookie, and it's back to the Montreal line. They have a two-man advantage. It's 1-0 Canadiens, and here comes Ryan Walter on the right side. Back at the point. Across from Hannon to Chelios. A quick save by Dion on the deflection. Chelios. Curvers. Chelios again. Over to Chabot through his skate. He picks it up. Back to Curvers at the right point. He looks. He shoots.
Possibly got the stick on it as well, but right underneath Dion and into the open side. Still 1:29 to go on the penalty to Hannon. 2-0 Montreal.
Ryan Walter's second goal of the young season.
Even if you look at the number 29, John Chabot. à 3 minutes 27 secondes, at 3 minutes 27 seconds.
Canadiens still on the power play. 1:10 left in the Hannon penalty. Here comes Chelios. Hits Debla on the back of the leg with the pass. He shoots it down into the Penguin zone. Dion around on the glass. Manta can't hang on to the puck. Now picks it up again with Walter checking him to Boutet, and he clears it down the ice. Mickey, last year Ryan Walter had 20 goals. A big disappointment. He has 2 goals in, 3 periods plus a couple of minutes. This season, good start for Walter. Chelios checked by Ron Flockhart. Penguins checking well here in deep. Boutet in front. It went off Svoboda. Penny got a piece of it. Close call as the Canadiens got sloppy deep in their own zone.
Well, Penny had pulled away from that short side, and he was very fortunate that puck just got a piece of that left toe and stayed in the crease area. Svoboda heading to the bench. The young man, just 18 years old. Let's have a look, Steve. Penny.
Watch out for the penalty shot.
You're not kidding.
He was close to falling on it in the goal crease. 30 seconds left in the Pittsburgh penalty. Robinson to Naslund. Room on the left side. Slips it through for Mondu. Airy moves in. Traffic jam in the corner. Mantha now against Mondu. Or Naslund rather. Mondu loose. Tremblay. Robinson a shot. Dion the save. Mantha clears the rebound. Picked up by Tremblay. Canadiens on the power play. 9 seconds left. Robinson into Naslund. He's checked. And a good job right there as it's cleared down the ice by Mantha for the Penguins, and that'll do it as Dave Hannon comes back. 2-0 Canadiens. They have played 5 minutes here in the first period. Mondu to the Pittsburgh line. Drops to Tremblay. A shot. Dion knocks it down. Clears the rebound into the corner. Tremblay centering pass. Goes to Kehoe. And the Penguins bring it out. Mike Bullard, their top scorer last year, trying to work his way through the defense. Can't get by Rick Green. Naslund along the boards. Can't control. Hillier, the ex-Bruin. Over to Maxwell. Shot through to the side. Blocked by Green, and the Canadiens' Carbonneau sends Naslund to center ice. Naslund working on the right side with Carbonneau with him. Naslund rolls it through to the crease. Dion made the save. Hangs on to the puck at the side of the net. Good play by Mats Naslund. So the Canadiens off to a big start. 5:36 gone, and they lead by 2.
Seems like only yesterday we bought our first Canada Savings Bond. It helped us to buy our first home by giving us the return. And that's helped us to save and invest and enjoy the better things in life. Canada.
Off the draw. The new wins the draw. And Doug Bodger brings it out over the red line. Shoots it in. Takes a hit in the process. Here's another 18-year-old. We got 2 of them on defense here tonight. Bodger, I think, is the youngest player in the NHL. Turned 18 in June. Gainey to Nyla. Nyla with a shot. Deflects wide. Babbage against Chelios, who flips it around on the glass. Back behind the net. Carbonneau overskated it. Gainey couldn't reach it, but now does and gets it back to Chelios, who keeps it in from the blue line to Gainey. Carbonneau. Gainey in front. Ball. Shot. Here's Nyla. A chance. Beyond the save. Carbonneau in front. Can't get the shot away. Herbers drills it wide. Babbage can't reach it. Canadiens with big pressure. Now Chelios falling outside the line, and the Penguins, just to relieve things, it's called a 2-line pass, I do believe. And the faceoff will come back down inside the line.
Oh, Chris Nyland with a great opportunity to put the Canadiens up by 3. Dion with a couple of big stops. Again, Carbonneau, Gainey, and Nyland doing some great work against the line of Mario Lemieux in a defensive role. Here's Nyland all alone with Dion. He made the stop. Carbonneau again couldn't quite get the shot off. I think Dion may have poke checked him with that big goal stick at the last minute. And then Curvers missed the net with a shot from the point.
Smith, Shutt, and Lafleur on for the Canadiens. Greg Fox, ex of the Flames and the Blackhawks. It's knocked off his stick, and Smith was standing in front of the net. Here's an interception by Robinson with a shot, and that's blocked by Fox, who got over. Shutt clears it in front. Back to the line for Svoboda. Can't get it by Marty McSorley. And the Canadiens Shutt to the line, intercepted by Flockhart. Straight up the center ice lane, rolls it through for Penny. The shots on goal, that was given as a shot, make it 8-1 in favor of Montreal right here. Puck comes back. Mantha at the right point keeps it in from the blue line, around back behind the net for Flockhart, being chased by Smith. He simply gets rid of it to the other side, and it's Lafleur in his own zone. Intercepted by Mantha in front. Flockhart can't get set for a shot, and Robinson takes over. They introduced Big Larry based on his Team Canada
defensive style of hockey game and try to keep the score down and get some breaks, but 1 man in, 2 men back. But a 2-0 early Montreal lead is going to force them to open this game up and do some skating.
Chabot stopped at the line by Maxwell, who dumps it out to center ice. Walter, who has a goal here tonight, to Green. Cross for Chelios. Mitch Chelios had a super training camp, and he is a very poised young man moving into his first complete NHL season.
I was going to say, Dick, it's hard to believe that he came in late in the season last year, only playing 12 games in the playoffs for Montreal.
Chabot run around by Maxwell. The Penguins trying to get something organized from an attacking standpoint and having their problems. Bullard cleared it in behind Penny to Walter, who runs into a jolt from Shedden. Green in the corner. Bullard gets his stick up on Green, who gets the puck to Walter. Robinson moving into the center ice zone. The Canadiens' Big Bird, who's wearing a helmet here tonight after suffering a concussion in a preseason game in Boston, and that's why he missed the opener in Buffalo on Thursday. Doug Shedden being watched by Ryan Walter. Finally to Bullard. Penguins not organized at all. The Canadiens on top of them. Bullard, nice move to get away from Chabot into the Montreal zone. Can't get the shot away. Shedden follows up a weak backhand. Picked off by Robinson. Left side pass to Naslund. And that's Naslund to the line. Drops it off for Tremblay. Mario Tremblay swings to his off wing, left side into Mondu. Came off the bench behind the net. Naslund being watched by Randy Hilliard. Tremblay comes in to help out. Very close quarters and quite scrambly right there as the Penguins bring it out, and it's dumped to center ice. Tremblay picks it off there. Pittsburgh not skating, Mickey, you're right.
No,
there was a perfect example. The puck carrier was skating, nobody else was.
Standing
Here's
still.
Mondu. Naslund right on. Diana save. Good quick chance for the Canadiens. Mondu to Naslund. Svoboda back inside his own line across to Tom Kerbers. Two rookies in their second NHL games on defense for the Canadiens together. Svoboda from Czechoslovakia. Kerbers, who has it right here, a Minneapolis native. And we've got Mario Tremblay with the stick.
Looks like he had a broken skate.
Oh, he's broken his skate.
I think he broke his skate, Dick. Right off the bottom of that plastic tubing on his right skate.
They can get a shot of that. Probably 2-0. Canadiens lead. 9.5 minutes played here in the opening period. Babbage into the Montreal zone. Claimed in the waiver draft last Tuesday from St. Louis. Lemieux with a sharp, short-angle shot. Penny the save. Carbonneau at center ice for Gainey. Canadiens quickly going from defense to offense. And Gainey making the move at the blue line through Carbonneau offside on the play. Well, there is Peter Svoboda. And his first appearance here at the Montreal Forum came in the day of the draft. The Canadiens had him secretly hidden down in a hotel. He defected from his native Czechoslovakia. 18 years of age. Mick, they say his biggest problem is size, the upper body strength. He has to develop it, but he's young.
Well, that's the word on it, Vic. He's got all the tools to be a great player in the National Hockey League, but strength, of course, is so important, especially for a defenseman, and he's very, very thin at this point. A 6-footer, only 160 pounds, so he's got some beef to put on.
Fox behind his own goal. A weak pass intercepted by Carbonneau, who's checked by Lemieux. Nyland with the loose puck now, and his shot deflects. Fox clears it into the corner. Canadiens on top of the Penguins, totally. From a forechecking standpoint so far. Good example of it right there. Nyland knocking Fox off stride, keeping the puck deep in the Penguin zone. Played around for Kehoe. He's checked by Green, who pinched in from the line. Now it's Carbonneau. Hooked from behind. Lemieux has the puck. Lemieux plays it off the board for Kehoe. He's checked by Green. Nyland intercepted by Babbage. Lafleur takes it away from him. Chelios to Carbonneau. Shot blocked by Greg Fox, and the Canadiens are on a change. Penguins, Kehoe at his own line, right side into Lemieux, who's held up by Svoboda. The #1 draft pick and the #5 coming together to play in this first period. Smith set for the faceoff for the Canadiens against Flockhart. It's interesting to see Smith getting the regular turn here so far, Mickey. A bit of controversy the other night. The story was he wasn't going to be dressed for the game in Buffalo. He did, was definitely the extra forward, with the Canadiens going with 13 and 5 defensemen. Shot from the line, Robinson, and the rebound, long rebound. And it's picked up by McSorley. Behind Flockhart on the far side. Flockhart in over the line, and the whistle goes. I noticed one of the linesmen here tonight, Wayne Bonney, wearing a helmet. Randy Van Helleman, the referee in Buffalo the other night, had a helmet. There is Rick Green. The Canadiens, Mick, have to be better off in defense if for no other reason than Chelios is here and Green is here. He didn't play last year until the last 7 games of the season because of a broken wrist.
They certainly missed him, Dick, during the season, and he played very, very well for Montreal in the playoffs. And, of course, Chelios had come over, as we mentioned, and those were 2 big reasons why Montreal was a surprising team in the playoffs. And, of course, the 3rd reason, Steve Penny.
Flockhart with the puck in the Canadian zone, trying to set up a play. Checked by Steve Shutt. McSorley against Bobby Smith. Young, who got 2 goals in Boston the other night, plays it, and Robinson clears it behind the net. Svoboda having some trouble handling the puck here. Takes a big hit on the play from Flockhart. Welcome to the NHL, Kit. Here's Steve Shutt. Shot a pass off the stick of Flockhart, and Smith one-hands it, picks it up again. He's all alone inside the line, but Lafleur catches up to it, lets it go, and it's blocked. Rod Fuskas got over and had to go off his leg. Sorley fires it around back behind the net for Young on the far side. Young takes a look. Nice pass to McSorley at center ice. He shoots it into the Montreal zone. The Penguins on a change. 2-0 Canadiens.
Pittsburgh, Dick, was still 1 shot on goal.
And it was from outside the blue line. Robinson shoots it in around back behind the net. Dion stops it there. Randy Hillier, who said he was ecstatic at the news that he was traded from Boston to Pittsburgh. Why? Because he says he'll play in Pittsburgh. He was not playing in Boston.
Unusual trade, Harry Sinden, of course, with big Gord Kluzak. Knee surgery is going to be out for a few months, and he traded Hillier, and of course Hillier himself had knee problems last year.
Debois with a chance, and Dion got the left arm on that one. Chilios tied up along the boards. Puck comes free at the line for Debois. He can shoot the puck, and he let it go quickly from the blue line, and Dion the save. 11-1 the shots. In front now, another chance for Debois. Checked by Bodger. Hillier plays it. The Penguins not handling the puck well, as you can see, and Chilios keeps it in the zone. Doug Bodger clearing it back behind the net. Now this is Doug Shedden. He can't get it outside the line. Chance for Walter, and he's intercepted by Young, who finally just hoists it, and it goes up into the crowd in the seats in behind the Pittsburgh players bench area. 2 or 3 years in the Pittsburgh scheme of things. Former Sudbury junior. Puck rolled to Dion. Mo Mantha, he was the player that was named later in the deal that sent Randy Carlyle from Pittsburgh to Winnipeg late in the season. Mantha finished the year in Winnipeg. That was the deal. Hannon in the corners. They're down in the Canadian zone. Mondu tries to pin him against the board. Hannon kicks the puck free. Mondu watching him. And he's still battle at close quarters. Hannon knocked off stride, and Naslund down the left side as the Canadians bring it out. Shoots it in. Tremblay trying to get away from some downfield interference by Fox. Does to avoid the icing call, but Boutet dumps it out now. And this is another ex-Bruin, Bruce Crowder. Came to Pittsburgh in the waiver draft early in the week. Crowder kicks the puck along the board, stopped by Robinson. Mondu, we got a penalty coming up here.
Look at it, Boutet cruising in front. Looked like a harmless enough shove by Rick Green, but he draws the call from Terry Gregson. Let's see what the Penguins can do in the power play. Speaking of Mo Mantha, he'll play the right point, and big fella Lemieux playing the off point, right-hand shot on the left point.
Canadians win the draw. Kerber shoots it down the ice. Might mention that also coming up in the first intermission, some thoughts from those of us in the broadcast booth tonight on the fact that Danny Gallivan is not. I guess you can say that tonight Danny officially begins his retirement. Bullard checked inside the line by Chilios. The puck cleared down on the left side, and it's Lemieux in deep in his own zone. Denny Aaron told me before the game that the thing that's impressed him about Lemieux, from what he's seen, he is very patient with the puck. He's not over anxious to get rid of it and makes good plays. Boutet in the Canadian zone with a shot that fails to feed through, and Gainey fires it off the boards and off Bonnie. I think it kind of clipped the linesman, and that's why it didn't go all the way down the ice. This is Lemieux backpedaling into his own zone. 1:10 remaining in the Rick Green penalty. Mantha ahead for Shedden to the lines. Pat Boutet, the veteran, moving in along the boards. Boutet dumps it in behind for Bullard. Mike Bullard. Watched by Curvers. His shot fails to get through, and Gainey sends Curvers away. This is the rookie in his second NHL game. Doesn't score. The rebound for Chilios. He does! And the Canadians lead 3-0.
Well, Chelios finished it off. A good play by Dion on the original shot, or the deke by Curvers as he broke in from Montreal's blue line. The Penguins all caught up ice on the power play, all 5 of them. And there goes Curvers. There's the poke check. Good check by Dion, but there were 3 Canadians, Dick. Only 4 of them on the ice. And 3 of them were up following up the deke by Curvers, and Chelios banged in the rebound into the open side. There's a look how it developed all the way back in the Montreal zone. And away go Canadians, and it's 3-0.
Avec le numéro 18, assisted by number 18, Tom Curvers. Et le numéro 23, number 23, Bob Gainey. À 14 minutes 47 secondes, at 14 minutes 47 seconds.
Canadiens with the short-handed goal. They've got one on the power play and one short-handed. Hilliard. And he's checked, and Naslund was within an ace of having a breakaway. Penguins not skating well, Mick, and handling the puck. There's no zip to their passes.
They're hardly skating at all, Dick.
Flockhart, good move. In close as he got around Svoboda, but had the puck knocked away as he couldn't get by Robinson. Hilliard at the right point, takes a look, fires it. It's Svoboda. Here's a 2-on-1. Mike McPhee and Mats Naslund inside the Pittsburgh zone, and the pass deflects away from Naslund. Penalty is over. Canadiens back at full strength. Kehoe moving inside the zone. Kehoe with a shot. That's blocked by Svoboda, who went down on the play, and he was shaken up as he took that big blast from Kehoe's stick full force. Rod Buskus was behind his own net. Now this is Maxwell. And his pass hits Steve Shutt. Maxwell picks it up, however, from Shutt. Moving in with a shot, and it deflects high over Penny's head. Young can't get a shot away as he was tied up by Robinson. They're still at close quarters and back behind the goal line area. Now turning with it, Flockhart. Bobby Smith trying to pin him into the corner. Flockhart gets it back behind the Montreal net. Robinson with it there. Robinson's pass knocked down by Maxwell, picked up by Smith into the Pittsburgh zone to Lafleur with a back pass. Why didn't he shoot? Mickey, can you believe it?
Well, yeah, I can. We'll get another look at it.
Here he comes again, tied up that time by Hannon. Shutt follows up with a shot and a pad save by Dion. Guy Lafleur has gone so long without a goal. A great opportunity there. He passed it back to Steve Shutt, who was covered on the play. Fleur with the puck now. Fleur, Chelios ahead for Shabbat. Outside the line, he shoots it into the Penguin zone as the Canadiens make a complete change with less than 3 minutes to play in the first period, and Montreal ahead 3-0. The Penguins have managed only one weak shot on goal. The Canadiens have had 14. Puck shot down into the Penguin zone. Will it be icing? Yes. Mantha beating Debois. And those two ex-Winnipeg teammates come together again. Live on CBC, this is Hockey Night in Canada.
No, I like you should. This is smooth. Grazie.
2:46 left in this first period. Lemieux on the draw and loses it to Carbonneau. Rick Green back behind the net for Gainey. Gainey a cross-ice pass. Nyland can't reach it. Knocked away by Greg Fox, and Carbonneau picks it up to Nyland. Nyland spun around at center ice. Boutet tips the puck back inside the Penguin zone. Mantha is on the ice a lot to Lemieux. Lemieux working. Can't get by Robinson at the line. Shoots the puck in deep. Robinson and Shedden fall down. Now it's Carbonneau can't clear the zone. The Penguins keep it in. Boutet battling with Green. Kicks the puck free out in front. Off the boards for Mantha with a shot. And the Canadiens again blocking the shot. That time it was Bob Gainey who has the puck now at center ice. Inside the Pittsburgh zone, Gainey against Fox. He dumps it behind him into the corner. Boutet and Carbonneau go in. Boutet gets a glove in Carbonneau's kisser. Fox comes up with the puck and moves it down the left side. Canadiens on a change. They're almost at the bench. Puck knocked out of the air. A high stick waved off. Shedden over the shoulder, but Robinson played the puck. Less than 2 minutes to play here in the first period as Green plays it back to Robinson. But Naslund. Bodger fires it right back out to center ice. Green takes a bump from big Mario Lemieux. Puck comes free at the line. It's tipped ahead by Hilliard. Naslund with it. Naslund stick handles into the zone to Tremblay with a quick shot. Dion got the stick on that one. Lemieux to Babbage, wearing a beard, Wayne Babbage. Maybe figures that'll change his luck. In front for Kehoe, and he's turned around, can't get the shot away. Babbage can't control the puck following in. Now he has it along the boards, gets it over to Hannon. Hannon with a shot, and that's deflected by Kervers, knocked into the air by Mondu into the final minute now here at the Forum. And it's Naslund working to the line. Hannon has it in his own zone. Tremblay knocked him off the puck, and the Canadiens come up with it again with Naslund trying to feed it through in front. Weak pass was blocked. Hannon at center ice with Babbage. Kehoe coming up on the play, but it's Babbage taking the pass off the boards. Can't get by Kervers, and the Canadiens' Bobby Smith dumps it out to center ice with 33 seconds left in the period. Maxwell to McSorley outside the line. His shot hits Kervers. Shutt just bats it away. And they're kind of playing out the string right here as the Canadiens content to bottle up the Penguins. McSorley at his own line to Maxwell. So they have time for their second shot of the period. Not that time. That one's wide. Curvers overskates it. McSorley in front, and it's tipped away. 8 seconds left as Buskus fires it from the line, and again that one hits a leg. They can't feed it through no matter what they do, Mickey, and that'll be it as the first period comes to an end.
One shot on goal for the Penguins, 15 for Montreal. It was all Canadians.
Agreeably right, tastes that's right and feels right. Molson Light has got heart, tastes that's right and feels right. Here's best part. Molson Light has got right.
They fell in love against the rules, and he paid the price.
You're coming with me. We're going to have another of our little chats.
The Jewel in the Crown continues Sunday night.
Second period just underway here at the Montreal Forum. I'm Dick Irvin with Mickey Redden and Brian McFarland. 3-0. The Canadiens lead the Pittsburgh Penguins. Ryan Walter, who scored the second Montreal goal, with the puck now, moving to the Pittsburgh blue line and failing to get by Randy Hillier. Puck comes loose. 2 defensemen in behind for Pittsburgh got caught, but the Canadiens couldn't connect. And the puck deflects off Flockhart to the Montreal line for Svoboda to Robinson. Bodger has it there, shoots it back in, and the Penguins are called in an offside. Mickey, I know you'd like to get in one thought about that Guy Lafleur play. When I said, why didn't he shoot?
Well, I think, Dick, what happened is he did have the open net. There's no question about that. But the puck got tied up a little bit under the heel of a stick. He didn't really quite have it out where he wanted it. And, of course, as we've noted before, when you have the kind of problems that Lafleur has had in scoring goals, 3 years in a row he had 27. Last year he had a 30-goal season. Of course, he had all the goals before those years. It sort of feeds on that. You lose your confidence in what you can do with it, but I think that's exactly what happened. Is it just kind of got tied up in his feet a little bit. He thought, well, I can't get enough time to get it away. There's a Penguin coming on me, and the play almost worked into the slot area, but I think you're right in thinking that he should have tried with the trouble he's been having scoring goals.
I wonder about his confidence at a time like
exactly
that.
Right, yeah.
Chelios at his own line. Curvers. All-American rookie defense out there for Montreal. There's a glove to head, and the whistle goes against Pittsburgh. The Penguins have a dreadful record here in Montreal. They have played the Canadiens 44 times since they entered the NHL in the 1967-68 season, and they have won a grand total of 2 of those 44 games, tied 3 and lost 39. It's the worst record, I think, of any of the original 6 expansion teams, you're going to call them that, and against any of the old 6. And they're in tough here tonight, but their only chance all year to add another win to that situation. Like Curvers with a big blast from
Dion looks a little stunned. He got him in the right shoulder.
Did it ever. Curvers again. He hit the post. The kid from Minneapolis has 2 assists here tonight, and he is fiery. Puck shot down into the Canadian zone. Penny sweeps it around. Canadians have outshot the Penguins 15-1. Maybe it's 2 right now after that sharp angle shot. Penny hugging the post and making the save. Puck cleared down into the Penguin zone, around back behind the net. Smith there with Mantha. Crowder trying to get it out. Hannon turning now for Pittsburgh. Shutt knocks down his pass. Penguins awfully weak handling the puck tonight, giving giveaways all night. Shots on goal would indicate that. Fox to Crowder off his stick. Both teams making changes right here as Robinson backpedals into his own zone. Jacques Lemaire has 2 rookies out there to start the period. He's got the 2 veterans, Green and Robinson, together on defense right here. Mondu to the Pittsburgh line. Mondu against Mantha. Backhand in front, and it deflects just wide. But Mondu skating well. Picks it up again to Green. Fires it around back behind the net. Mondu with it.
Mondu's everywhere right now.
It's like on a merry-go-round. He just keeps going round and round.
Tell you what, he can skate. When he turns it on, he's one of the better skaters in the National Hockey League. Not a big man, but he can sure fly.
Babbage chasing the puck deep in the Canadian zone. Icing was waved off. Now it's Robinson. Mondu with it again. Good shift for him right here. Mats Naslund played well for Team Sweden. Robinson a shot right on the rebound, and Dion with 2 saves off Robinson, and Tremblay on the rebound. Babbage. 2-line pass to Keough.
Products that really do meet your needs. Because of you, we're getting better.
Elsewhere tonight, the Washington Capitals have jumped into a 2-0 lead over the Philadelphia Flyers. In the Capitals home opener, those teams playing each other twice in their first 2 games of the new season. They tied at the Spectrum on Thursday. Svoboda to Chelios, and he shoots it in offside Montreal. This program is copyright and restricted for the private use.
Tom Curvers.
Svoboda getting a regular turn here tonight, as was the case at Buffalo Thursday, to Nyland. Carbonneau, puck flipped high. Shot comes in on a bit of a deflection, and Dion made a bad save. It's played out to center ice, and Chilios.
It's going to be playing with Freecher and Inachak. A nice, pretty passing play ties that hockey game at 1 after 1 period of play in Toronto.
Lemieux, he plays the point on the power play in Bob Barry's scheme of things. He's trying to get loose for a shot right now. Waiting at the line, finally gets rid of the puck in the corner, back of the net. Doug Shedden with it for Pittsburgh. Shedden back at the point for Mantha. Mantha to Shedden, over to Lemieux. Lemieux feeding it in. Mike Bullard working in close. To Boutet in front. Mantha fan on the shot.
Look out.
And here's a chance for Mike McPhee. Mantha chasing him. McPhee moving in. And Dion comes out with the stick check. And the Penguins come back. Boutet chasing Lemieux's pass into the Canadian zone. Robinson there fails to clear it behind the net. It's kicked loose for Boutet at the side of the goal area. Players fall. McPhee with it, fires it off the glass and down the ice.
Pittsburgh got caught again on that power play, and another big save by Dion to keep that score at 3-0. They poke check McPhee, and then the Penguins come close at the other end.
Lemieux slowly into the center ice area, flips it through. It bounces right to Steve Penny, who hands it off to Tom Curvers, who has all kinds of room and all kinds of time to shoot it down the ice. 45 seconds left in the Chilios penalty.
Bob Barry cannot be very happy at all with what he's seeing out of this hockey team tonight. They are not skating, Dick, even on the power play. There's a good example. Lemieux dumping it in. There's no Penguin there to get it.
Bullard into the zone, trying to get away from Carbonneau. Turns around up against the boards, runs into a check from Curvers. Keogh, Curvers, Bullard. Bullard gets it back. Hilliard waits into Mike Bullard again. Bullard back to Hilliard. Lemieux calling for the puck in the circle to the right of Steve Penny. And it's over Hilliard's stick.
Lemieux a little bit too far in, Dick. They couldn't get it to him. Look out here.
Carbonneau with a chance, killing the penalty. Around back behind the net, out in front. Gainey tied up. Rick Green moves in. And the puck gets away from him. Penalty's over right now. Chilios comes out of the box.
Since it keeps on tasting great.
Canadiens 3, Penguins no score. 5:29 gone in the second period. Canadiens off to a good start in their home opener. Chilios breaks his stick as he got a shot goal from the blue line.
That ended up 16 rows up into the stand. Almost hit. It did hit somebody, as a matter of fact.
Puck flipped along the board down into the Canadian zone for Svoboda. He's in trouble in deep. That's one of the things that he's been caught at a couple of times, Mickey.
That's the European style, though, as we know, Dick. They like to lug it back on their own net.
Ron Shabbat plays it to Ryan Waller. The pass failed to click, and here is Flockhart. Against Svoboda, Flockhart into the Canadian zone. Chilios comes over. Puck ricochets back to Buskas with a shot. Knocked down by Shabbat. Walter and Shabbat break away. Now it's Deblaw on the right side. Maxwell and Deblaw going down into the corner. Puck is played by Young around on the boards, and Flockhart simply dumps it down into the Canadian zone, where Robinson goes back after it. Again, Larry Robinson playing with a helmet. He's tried it off and on in his career. Played Canada Cup without one, played the exhibition games without one, and suffered a mild concussion in Boston, and is now wearing one here tonight.
Doesn't really like it, Dick, does he?
No,
It seems to hamper him.
Never been comfortable with it, Mickey.
He may have to just keep it on for good.
Robinson now chasing against the non-helmeted Pat Boutet. Smith plays the puck around on the boards to Lafleur, and the Penguins checking a bit better with Mantha letting it go from the line, and a deflection misses. It went up high. Robinson plays it to Bobby Smith. Smith to Lafleur against Mantha. Lafleur on the left side. They fall, and we've got a penalty coming up right here.
Things happen.
Mickey, the playoffs last year did a lot to revive maybe is the wrong word, but to really pep up the interest in hockey. There was more hockey talk around this summer than for a long time. Curvers at the line. Curvers to Naslund with a shot. That's blocked by Hilliard. After it is Deblaw. Gets it back. Deblaw up front with Mondu and Naslund on this power play. Along the boards now. Deblaw intercepted by Hannon, and he shoots it down the ice. Interesting to see Curvers. He's got the puck now. He was really a sleeper at the Canadiens camp and played his way onto the team. Chilios going back in behind.
He's got a lot to learn, Dick, but he certainly looks pretty comfortable out there. Likes to handle a puck, likes to shoot it, can shoot it very well.
Naslund, left side. Pittsburgh zone. Drops it back to Pierre Mondu, who stops along the boards to Chris Chilios. He can shoot. Does. Right on. Chilios takes the puck away from Hannon. Plays it into Naslund in the corner. Centering pass is blocked. It's Naslund again with it. 1:05 left in the penalty as Chilios puts it over to Curvers. Curvers tried to send it back to Naslund. It's blocked by Boutet and dumped out over the line. Canadiens with Curvers. He hit the post here in this period. Erie picks up his pass. Center ice. Bob Erie, E-R-R-E-Y is the player. His coach is Bob Berry. The B. Naslund dumping it just too far for Steve Shutt. Puck off the boards. Back to Chilios. Svoboda. Turning. Left point. Looking. Letting it go. And it hits Steve Shutt. And he is hurt. Svoboda hit his own teammate. Shutt. Puck comes right to him. I think he was trying to head to the bench.
That made him feel better.
Svoboda back to Shutt, trying to make up for it. Shot is blocked on the backhand. Lockhart spun around by Svoboda on the play. Lockhart's stick and all the way to the boards. Here's a steal in deep by Erie off Chilios, who then recovered, and the shot went wide. Shabbat with 6 seconds left in the penalty to Svoboda. And a pass was off his stick. He takes a big hit from Puskas. Puck comes out. Shot by Shabbat. Dion deflects it wide. Play in the Pittsburgh zone. Walter falls down. Robinson picks it up. Lets it go. Dion the save. It's the 20th Montreal shot. Walter to Shabbat in the corner. Out in front. Picked off by Bob Erie to Ron Flockhart, who moves the puck over the red line. Gets rid of it as the Penguins head to the bench on a line change. And here's Svoboda again. It's followed him around, Mickey, in this shift. Nyland can't control the pass. Babbage. And he gets stopped at the Canadiens' line. They're nearing the halfway point here in the second period. The Canadiens are still leading 3-0. It's Lemieux with a chance and a shot. Getting over was all pro.
The veteran Robinson come in, just stuck the stick in the way. A good hard wrist shot. Might have had a chance to get a goal for Pittsburgh there by Mario Lemieux.
Puck is dropped. Lemieux wins the drop. Babbage, quick wrist shot went wide. Lemieux with it now, pinned by Carbonneau. Jeff there from a height standpoint. Traffic jam in the corner. The whistle
on the Pittsburgh Hockey Club. Their season ticket sales, they haven't been great in the past, around 4,000 a year. They're up over 1,000. They had an inter-squad game a couple of weeks ago. They drew 900 people in a building that only holds 7, charged $5 a head for charity. And Lemieux scored the winning goal in a inter-squad game, and he's got that town excited. Let's hope hockey is back in Pittsburgh.
Carbonneau checked by Kehoe. Center ice zone. Carbonneau with the hook on Kehoe. Gets away with it. Gainey comes in to help out. And
about the contract that Lemieux signed. I know it was a 3-year contract for some pretty good money, but good enough anyway to buy his mom a satellite dish so she could watch the games from all over the country. The Lemieux family living just outside of Montreal.
All of the scoring in the first period. We're into the last half of the second period now. It's 3-0 Montreal. Lafleur loses the puck. Kehoe gets it back to Mantha. Mantha moves in. Elects to go in further with a backhand. Fails to feed it through with a traffic jam in front, and the Canadiens come back 3-on-1. Fox, the defenseman, back. McPhee, and Fox made a great play. The only man back, and he slid over and blocked the shot. McPhee elected to shoot from the right wing. Out to Bobby Smith. Shot wide, short side. Here is Lafleur. Curvers lets it go. Just misses. Boy, he keeps that shot low, Mickey, from the point. That's how Walter deflected for the goal in the first period. Lemieux against Green. They go down into the Canadian zone. Babbage pinned by Smith. Green and Blackhawks are into a 3-2 third period lead over the Islanders. How about last night at the Meadowlands?
Well,
the New Jersey Devils.
7-2.
7-2.
Devils.
Islanders got the first 2 goals. The Devils 7 straight.
The Islanders are all talking about we want it back badly.
Naslund at center ice right here. Looking for his first goal of the season. Stopped by Maxwell. Svoboda following in. Rolls it through in front. Trombley is there. Can he get it up over Dion? No. And it's in the crease.
Svoboda getting it in front. There's Mario coming in front now. Watch this now. He gets it up just a little bit. Up off the mask and laid right behind the head of
Hillier got just enough of Trombley to prevent him from having enough mobility to get back and really get a chance for some leverage.
That's a danger zone. When you go in that middle slot area out in front of the net, there's all kinds of defenders there. It's certainly going to be lots of action, and Mario is not afraid to go in there.
21-3 for shots on goal in this hockey game. 3-0 the score. Canadiens leading the Penguins. Bullard shoots it in. And Penny misplays it, leaves it there for Shedden to Young. And then Young over to Hillier, who had left the point position, and the puck comes back out to center ice. Pittsburgh has to regroup. Maxwell to Shedden. Young takes the pass off the board. Stopped by Robinson, who has been awfully steady tonight in his regular season debut for the Canadiens. The Penguins flip it to the line. Bullard can't get it by the big bird on that occasion. Here comes Mondu. Ahead for Naslund. He's got Tremblay on the right side, but he hangs on to it. Lets it go on a deflection, and it rattles off the boards. Bullard down the left side. Naslund comes over. Neatly takes the puck away from him.
Good example right there, Dick, of the skating. Look at that. Naslund all over the ice. Mike Bullard was not skating. Naslund took it away.
Puck cleared down into the Pittsburgh zone, and Hillier, one leg, clears it back out to center ice. Robinson to Tremblay, but Chabot, one break, and they scored. So they feel that it's going to cut 3 to 4 minutes off hockey games here, saving the puck from going out of play.
I know they've made quite a few changes here at Montreal, one of them being right here in the broadcast booth. Nice new carpeting, table to work on. Boy, this is fun up here.
Well, I knew you were coming for the first game.
Great facilities.
Pat Boutet dumps it into the zone. Chelios. That goal that Chelios scored in the first period, his first in regular season play. He got one in the playoffs last year. So it isn't necessarily his first in the NHL. Buskas tied up in deep by Debois. Walter, good play back to Chelios. Chabot has to knock down a high flip pass, and then his shot hits Flockhart, who catches up to the puck at center ice, working against Chelios, who loses his stick. Flockhart drops it off, but Chabot coming back on the play made the defensive save. And the Canadiens come out 3-on-2 with Walter. Dumping it into Debois, fires it wide. He was checked from behind by Crowder. Good play by Crowder to get back and just get enough of Debois to prevent the shot from being on. Mantha with a shot, blocked by Chelios. Centering pass, Penguins getting it back and through at the defense. And it's all the way back down. I see Jimmy Roberts down behind the bench going through some agony here. Assistant coach with Pittsburgh. Face off just outside the blue line. Lemieux and Carbonneau. Canadiens win it and control with Robinson. Back behind the net for Dion.
Trouble.
Now Carbonneau, see, they had control of it and lost it in deep. You're right, Mick. But there's a bad pass by the Canadiens, and the Penguins come out with Babbage, Kehoe, Maxwell trailing on the play. Babbage up against the boards, tied up by Robinson. Lemieux plays it around back behind the net. Kehoe can't reach it, and it's green looking. Kehoe tries to pin him. Nyland has the puck now as Green got rid of it. Too far for Gainey as that pass off the mark. Hillier dumps it back inside the Montreal line. 5:35 left in the period as Green backpedals to Robinson now. Robinson, good pass, offside. Reunited here tonight. They didn't play together very much in preseason. Mind you, Matt Naslund took half the training camp off as the post-Canada Cup rest period. Trombley wasn't in uniform the other night in Buffalo for the league opener. Here is Shedden in deep. Canadian zone. He passes it for Airy. Bullard in behind the net. Mike Bullard out in front, and Shedden just not quite there. Shot comes in. Save made. Bodger let it go. And that will be the fourth shot of the game for the Penguins. Naslund flips it through past Bodger. They bump and Tremblay goes down. Bodger just turned 18. Shot by Mondu, and it fails to feed through. Svoboda in deep from the defense position. Out in front, and Dion makes...
He's a young man that also will need some strength, but has all the tools.
Out of the Kamloops juniors, number 9 overall. Boy, that's pretty strong. He's 18, and look at he battled Tremblay and did a good job.
But that defensive position is tough. You've got to be big and strong with the size of these big forwards in the league today.
Fox over to Crowder with a shot. They didn't give them the Leafs a bit of a surprise the other night. 1-0 in Minnesota. Mantha shot, and that was end over end wide. Fox checked by Steve Shutt. Smith just too far for Shutt. Mantha plays it back for Flockhart, turning at the Canadiens' line. Trying to get through. He's all by himself. Shutt bats the puck, but not out. Mantha now is stopped, and here's Lafleur to Bobby Smith. 3-on-1. Fox is back. Smith takes a look. Over to Shutt. Hits the crossbar. Svoboda at the line. Fires it right on. Dion the save, and he wanted to stop. Bring things to a halt, but he missed the puck, and they shoot it down the ice. It'll be icing in any event against the Penguins. Then he gets his face. Jacques Lemaire elected to the Hockey Hall of Fame this year, and deservedly so for a great 12-year career as a player here in Montreal.
My centerman for a couple of years.
Say, he played with you?
Yes, he did. I played with him. Let's put it that way.
12 years. What was it? 8 Stanley Cups. Not bad. Nyland. The Chelios. Nyland checked by Lemieux as the puck rolls through, and Hillier plays it around on the boards for Marty McSorley. Kerber's a shot. It bounces through and beyond. Nyland's on right now, right side, as Carbonneau and Lemieux get set for this draw, and Carbonneau wins it back to Chelios. Moving in, he's got some room with a shot. Beyond the save, and he reached around behind him. I guess he could feel the puck.
Well, his goals against in 30 games last year was over 5, but by the same token, the Penguins only won 16 games, so it's kind of tough to get a line on a goaltender when you've got a team in. Dick, we were talking about that 1-0 game, Toronto, Minnesota. Did we have a 1-0 game last year in the NHL? I couldn't recall. It's been a while. Not too often in these times of lots of goal scoring do you see a 1-0 hockey game.
Opening night was quite low scoring, really, for the most part.
It was.
All right, the Penguins on the power play, and Gainey catches up to the puck. Again, Mick, we get back. We've said it before. You pointed it out very early in the game. You could sense that Pittsburgh just didn't have the skating legs here tonight, and it's a perfect example right here. Look at this. Carbonneau stealing the puck.
It's hard to understand.
On a power play.
Pittsburgh, I saw them play the other night in Boston. They skated much better against the Bruins. But they're just not moving here tonight.
Off stop.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. Well, they've got a lot of young players in Toronto as well, and I'm sure that if Dan Maloney could have the whole season go as far as it's gone so far, he'd be pretty happy, but Toronto's going to have its problems, I'm sure, throughout the season, as they did last year. A lot of young players.
Not much happening here right now with a minute left in the Shabbat penalty. Pittsburgh failing to get anything organized of a semi-serious nature even on the power play. Babbage checked by McPhee. Lemieux is there as well, and the puck comes free. Back to the line. Hillier over to Keogh, who's going the wrong way against Naslund. Drops it off for Hillier. Pass hits McPhee, comes right back to Hillier again. I guess this is what he means, Mick, by getting a chance to play. I'm sure he didn't get much action on the power play in Boston. Bodger with a fake against Chelios, rolls it through, knocked down from in front by Green, who kicked it away. Canadiens with a 3-0 lead are playing a man short right here. Puck in the Montreal zone. Lemieux after it. Green beats him to it.
You'd never know it.
No. Puck stopped by Bodger at the line, and for Babbage with a shot. Oh. Great glove save by Steve Penny. His first major test of the hockey game, and he was equal to the test as he took a goal away from Babbage.
Well, I was going to say, Dick, you used the word major. Although they've had now 6 shots on goal, that's about the only shot really they've had on goal. Babbage with a good opportunity, and Penny stood his ground, stood up, and snapped it right out of midair.
Steve Penny, 23 years of age, 4 regular season games last year. The most talked about player of the playoffs, I guess, after number 99. Had the best goals against average of any goaltender in the playoffs after, and he was in all 15 games Montreal played.
Well, on the other side of that coin, Babbage trying to find himself. A couple of years ago, 1981, he had 54 goals.
He scored his 50th right here in Montreal. We got a penalty here against Bot. Wait a minute. Oh,
let's hope he can find his scoring touch again and help the Penguins out.
Puck shot down into the Pittsburgh zone. Canadiens on the power play right here. The Penguins get it out. It's interesting that the year that they were all drafted, Bobby Smith was number 1, Ryan Walter was number 2, and Wayne Babbage was number 3. And they're all in action in this hockey game here tonight. And none of them playing for the team that originally picked them in the draft. Puck shot down into the Pittsburgh zone. Boutet around back behind his own net. And the Canadiens failing to get anything going on a power play right here as the teams move into the final minute of the second period. 3-0 Montreal. This is Curvers. He's 22 years old. Fleur, right side against Maxwell, into the corner. Tries to center it, can't do it. Smith following up on the play. Knocked off stride by Hillier. Steve Shutt looking for somebody who's clear. Working against Boutet. Into Smith now in the corner. Curvers over to Chelios. Taking a look, back to Curvers again. Curvers to Chelios. Penguins in that box formation. Shot deflects off us. And they were the runners-up last period. Mantha in the penalty box. Close quarters off the face-off inside the Pittsburgh line. That's Hillier in the corner. Walter tries to keep it along the boards and does to Shabbat. Now it's Walter back again for Robinson. 3 seconds left. Svoboda, a shot, hit the post as the siren goes.
Couldn't come any closer than that. The inside of the Those things. He's got a good glove hand as well. So he just very might well be for real.
This is Svoboda moving in. He had that chance at the end of the period. He had that one at the start of this period, and Dion made the save. Puck is shot down the ice. Canadiens on a power play. Pittsburgh. Mantha in the box has 15 seconds left. Shabbat into the Pittsburgh zone. Feeds it in front. They score! Larry Robinson.
That's a beauty.
How many times, Mickey, has Larry scored a goal from that position? Right in front of the goal.
When we get a look at the replay, it's just like chalking up the old cue stick as Robinson just cruised in front. Shabbat spotted him, and Larry just redirected it basically right between his own legs and past Dion in the open side of the net. Put a little chalk on that old stick and cue it in. Watch this play by Shabbat as he gets the Pittsburgh team standing still. Power play goal. He spots the big fella Robinson. And bingo. It's 4-0. Look at that. Robinson didn't even shoot the puck. Pretty goal. Listen to the hands for Robinson.
Assisted by number 29, John Shabbat. 30 seconds at 30 seconds.
So the Canadiens on their second power play goal of the game, and there's a chance. Bullard testing Penny from fairly close range. Puck kept in. Chance for Shetton. Misses. Went for the low corner, stick side. And the Canadiens come back to center ice with Smith. Steve Shutt on the right side. He stops to Lafleur, and he tries to let a shot go. That time he was well checked by Doug Shetton. And the Penguins come back. Bullard stopped at the line. Shutt turns around and dumps the puck down the ice. Lafleur after it. Buskus is there. And Buskus puts it right on a Smith stick. This pass went astray. Now, didn't see that, but the crowd reacted to something in behind the play.
Lafleur dumped Buskus back in front of the net.
Shutt into the Penguin zone against young Bodger. Over to Robinson now. Buskus knocks Lafleur down, and he's going to draw a penalty. That's the third time, Mickey, tonight that the Penguins have... The referee and me. And the referee at least saw the second one, and that's why Buskus is in the penalty box.
Well, he'll learn to do it when referees are not looking.
4-0. Montreal. Robinson scoring the fourth goal early in this third period. He has the puck right here to Svoboda. Boy, has he been on the ice a lot tonight, I'll tell you. He can't get anywhere down the boards in the Penguin zone, and they shoot it down the ice. Mickey, nothing from a set power play pattern or lineup really so far for the Canadiens. With 4 lines on, it just looks like what Lemaire's doing is basically, if it's your turn, you're on.
Gives everybody a shot.
Svoboda works his way into the zone. This is Bondu, and Nazarov escapes. Rolls wide, puck comes free. Mantha shoots it down the ice. I like Mantha tonight. He has worked hard. He's going to get a lot of ice time in this Pittsburgh scheme.
He's a good addition to this Pittsburgh Hockey Club, Mo Mantha is.
Mats Naslund, 29 goals last year, 26 in his rookie season 2 years ago. The little guy from Sweden ahead to the youngster from Czechoslovakia. Svoboda feeds it in just too far for Mondu, and he's going to get a penalty. Yep. Pierre Mondu hauled down.
5 seconds.
So the teams play 5 aside right here, and the Penguins will have a power play chance. All things being equal, here is Carbonneau trying to send Gainey down the right side. Good saving defensive play there, Mickey, by Maxwell.
Sure.
Carbonneau tried to fake the shot and draw it around Hillier. Didn't succeed. It's Lemieux with it. And Maxwell back to Lemieux. Cross-ice pass right on the money to Babbage. To Maxwell. In front of the net, he turns, slips it through for Hillier. Hillier moving in, stopped by Gainey.
Gonna shoot it.
Carbonneau. Left side into the Pittsburgh zone. Gainey trailing. Carbonneau again drawing it around. Good play. Still has the puck blocked by Hillier as he tried to beat Gainey. Chilios keeps it in from the line. Around back behind the Pittsburgh goal. 7 seconds left in the Penguins penalty to Buskus, and Carbonneau gets a hand as he goes to the Montreal bench. Lemieux turned around by McPhee. If you have just joined us, Mario Lemieux and the rest of the Penguins have had a very tough night here at the Forum. They trail 4-0, and now Pittsburgh is on a power play. Bullard didn't want to touch that when he was offside. Penny comes out, stops the icing, fails to clear the zone with the shot. Bullard from the side, slips it through. McPhee checked by Mantha, who keeps it in. Bullard in the corner. Back, shot comes in, they score! Bodger, there's his first NHL goal, 18 years of age, and is he happy?
Well, that puck, Dick, was deflected in front of Steve Penny. Now, I'm not sure if it went off a Montreal defenseman or a Pittsburgh Penguin, possibly Pat Boutet. Let's see if we can catch it here. Bullard back to young Bodger at the point. He just lets it go right away. And it may have hit Boutet, standing beside Steve Penny. Went high into the net. 4-1, I should say, Montreal. A power play goal for the Penguins. Let's see if it does hit Pat Boutet, number 15. Hard to tell.
Penguins goal scored by number 33, Doug Bolger. Avec l'aide du numéro 22, assist by number 22, Mike Bullard. Et le numéro 20 and number 20, Mo Manta, à 4 minutes.
So it's a 4-1 hockey game here. Canadiens in the lead. And now here's Green into the Pittsburgh zone. Can't get away. Airy checking, and Bullard, the team captain, brings it to the Montreal line. Tries to leave it there for Airy. Comes back for Bodger, and it's over his stick at the blue line and out to center ice. Tell you, Mick, if Boutet had have received credit for it, Bodger had already gone and got the puck and taken it.
You don't want.
Now that's smart.
The Smart Sets, advanced System 3 from Zenith, designed with Zenith computer technology. When you want everything smart.
Buck Bodger played junior in Kamloops, not Kelowna. Close, same province. Curvers to Chilio, two U.S. collegiately trained defensemen for the Canadiens. Left side. Naslund intercepts that and shoots it down the ice. Rolls all the way down. Fox chasing it, gets to it before Mondu.
Well, they say Bodger is a great playmaker, good passer, but by the looks of that shot, he can fire that puck with the best of them.
Young has the puck along the boards. Curvers tied him up, and Chelios in behind. Plays it around for Steve Shutt, and he simply bats it by Greg Fox. And again, the Canadiens are going to be called icing if Mantha can output Lafleur, and he does. And Lemieux on the draw. Carbonneau wins it again. He has controlled Lemieux almost totally in face-off situations in this game. Hopefully, for Lemieux's sake, he's learning something from it all. Gainey, as Kehoe falls down, is intercepted by Lemieux. Here he comes. The big guy on the right side falls inside the Montreal line, makes a good play to keep it going. Tries to set up Kehoe in front. Now Kehoe has it, and Penny slides across. Another shot from a sharp angle. Penny under some fire here. Gainey ices the puck. Oh, that's the first.
55 goals for the Penguins.
Babbage plays the puck back at the point. Maxwell wasn't there, so has to go outside. He's intercepted now by Carbonneau. Moving to the Pittsburgh zone with Gainey in front, but here's Nyland with a shot, and it's deflected wide as Hillier got in front of that one. Svoboda from the left side. Centering pass by Carbonneau, picked off by Maxwell to Babbage. Babbage flips it. I think Babbage, normally a right winger in St. Louis, is a right-hand shot, but playing left wing with the Penguins right now. Robinson picks the puck up in the Canadian zone to Carbonneau. 4-1 Montreal. 6:20 gone in this third period as Svoboda from inside the line fakes the shot. Buskus didn't go for it.
He sure didn't, did he?
Buskus falls down. Nyland puts it behind for Carbonneau, who fires it through the edge of the crease, and it's all the way down the ice into the Montreal zone. Penny leaves it there for Larry Robinson. Both teams making changes. Devlov turned around by Shet. Svoboda moving into the zone with a shot wide. Good move that time with the head fake by the kid. Shabbat with it. Out in front, and Devlov tried to do what Larry Robinson did a moment ago. The backhand deflection couldn't click. Bullard to the Canadian zone as they come back quickly. Falls. Robinson pushes him into the corner. Robinson sidesteps a hit from Bob Airy. They dig along the boards for it. Will we get it?
Worth a half bottle of golden. And this gentleman would like the other half. Stuart, would you like the top half or the bottom half?
You're smooth, son. Smooth as golden.
Shots on goal, you see it. 28-7 for Montreal. Mantha, shot. It's Mondu's stick. Curvers from in front of the net. Quickly gets it ahead on the right wing to Tremblay. Cross-ice pass for Naslund. Back to Tremblay in the corner. Mondu behind the net. The Naslund shot high off the corner glass. Tremblay was knocked down by Fox. Penguins dump it out. Bullard, left side Montreal zone. Curvers steers him in behind the goal line area. Naslund comes up with a loose puck for the Canadiens. Naslund, the head for Chelios. Lead pass for Mondu. Chelios is with him. Chelios, a shot. Rebound. Shoots again. The first one off Mantha. That's up. Where's the defense for the Islanders? 6 goals against tonight, 7 last night.
But you know, they do have some defensive problems. Kenny Morrow was out with the, he had his knee worked on. He's going to be out for a while. And Pearson's still having problems with, I think, a shoulder. Is it, or he's suspended?
Suspended.
Suspended, and Langeman's having shoulder problems. So
LaFontaine got a goal.
3 big defensemen for the Islanders out.
Penguins bring it out of their zone. Flockhart with some speed into the Canadiens' end. Stops against Green. Flockhart tries to get the shot. Oh, it does. It's weak. In the corner, Crowder. Stopped by Robinson. Now it's McPhee. Intercepted at center ice by Maxwell. Poutet turning down the right wing into the Montreal zone. Pat Poutet. A cross-ice pass goes for Maxwell's shot. Maxwell's shot went up off the glass. That would have been out of play last year here at the Forum. Smith plays it into the center ice area. Crowder back for Maxwell inside the Pittsburgh line. 4-1 Canadiens lead. Crowder from the right wing, and his shot deflects off Robinson's stick and goes off the glass. Poutet working against Green. More motion almost over there. Finally, Bob Gainey dumps it off the boards and out to center ice. Poutet shoots it back into the Canadian zone. Penguins on a line change. It's a little warm out there in the ice. Weather very mild for this time of year here in Montreal. Carbonneau, stick handling. Shot with it now. Shot ahead for Gainey at the line. Almost got through. Bodger stopped it. Bodger against Carbonneau right there. And this is Gainey with shot. Gainey, Buskus. They jammed. Carbonneau checked at the side. And here comes Lemieux. Ahead for Babbage. He's got Kehoe in the right wing. Lemieux will actually shoot. And the hesitation at the blue line threw Rick Kehoe offside.
You'll feel you're part of the picture.
We are back at the Forum. I'm Dick Irvin, Brian McFarland, and Mickey Redmond, who we welcome again to our telecast, in from a city that I guess has been renamed Tiger Town. Mick, down in Detroit, where you live?
You betcha. That city is really turned on right now, Dick. They lead 3-1, and they're hoping to wrap it up tomorrow. As they say in Detroit, bless you, boys. That's the new saying.
Okay. Penguins in the Montreal zone. Lemieux with a shot. Penny the save. Sharp angle that time, and Penny had it covered. And the whistle go.
Puck up, jump back into the hole to get a pass back. The puck seems to follow
in scheme of things that quickly since Guy Lapointe.
Well, as I said, it's hard to believe he only played 12 games last year before the playoffs, because he does play like a veteran.
Lafleur following in on Carbonneau's long shot, and he golfed it wide as the puck was bouncing. Now here is Lafleur again to Carbonneau. Carbonneau to Gainey. Lafleur taking over on right wing with these two at this point of the hockey game. Puck in the corner as Carbonneau was down. Look out! Carbonneau's stick came out and
stitches
off the face-off. Robinson feeds it through. Shabbat acting as a screen. The puck was wide. Shabbat tries to center. Debloff battling in front. He's knocked down by Hillier in the play. And the puck is underneath, and the whistle goes. We mentioned the Canadiens in their 75th anniversary.
But Dubinsky put that one very coolly into the net.
Nine and a half minutes left in the third period here. Shedden for Pittsburgh. Shabbat blocks his pass. Here is Lucien Deblois. Got a goal the other night in Buffalo. Stick handling in close. Fires backhand. Dion was down. Deblois again, and he's tied up by Hillier. He went in close. The goal he scored in Buffalo the other night, Mickey just drilled a terrific shot high on Barrasso.
He was looking to make a play there.
Yeah, he went in very close.
Better advised to shoot that one.
Offside is set for the faceoff outside the Montreal line against Flockhart of the Penguins, who wins the draw to Greg Fox. And he is intercepted by Naslund, who shoots the puck in. Dion plays it off the boards. Mondu missed it, and Poutet trying to hit Crowder, blocked by Herbert.
I would think, Dick, there'd be an awful lot of happy people around Montreal. The Canadiens skate as well as they have tonight all year long. Skated well.
Bromley in deep, and a pass back out of the stick of Crowder. Plays it to the open wing. Flockhart gets there with Chilios. Now it's Naslund, and the Canadiens come right back. Well, Mick, tonight you wonder, are they skating that well? You have mentioned that the Penguins obviously are not.
No, and I won't take that back. They are not skating. I mean, I won't take back that the Penguins aren't, because they're not skating at all. But Montreal, I don't care who they'd be playing, they'd be in a hockey game tonight because they're skating very well. Better than I've seen them skate last year in the season an awful lot of times here at the Forum.
And deep in the Canadian zone, Flockhart tying up Rick Green. Comes free. Buskus comes in, and his shot to the side of the net. Centering pass off Green. Penny's out of position. Can they get a shot away? No. The puck goes through. Hit Robinson. Penny reaches out, and he hangs on. Hughes back out there after being clipped and cut.
Tough to build an organization when you're not drafting in the top 10 very often. Of course, Pittsburgh, like Los Angeles, had given away a lot of draft choices.
Well, this year they have 3 in the top 16. They waited and finally paid off. Robinson, he's stopped by Babbage. Svoboda plays it across in front of his own net. And Robinson to Gainey, and they're quickly on the attack. Canadians. Gainey from the left wing. It's off a stick and off the glass. It's still in play as Babbage ties up Robinson. Played ahead. Bodger. Now this is Keogh on a pass from Lemieux. Spun around by Svoboda. Chris Nyland. Been used sparingly in this third period. He missed a shift here a moment ago when Lafleur took over. Robinson to Gainey. Into Carbonneau. Pass across intended for Nyland.
Part of them played part of the season last year. Came in late, the Philadelphia guys. Flockhart, Taylor, Brickley. And of course the 3 draft choices. Belanger not in the lineup tonight.
Eddie Johnson has this last year. It's been a tough year for him. Here is Chelios. Puck bounces high. And they come back. Bullard can't reach the pass. Lafleur turns outside the line. Now it's Smith passing it across the ice and out over the line. Chelios couldn't get there in time to keep it in play in Pittsburgh territory. Curvers to Smith. That's that pass by Curvers. Didn't waste a minute. Came to him and he just redirected it right on.
I like him.
Smith's stick. Harry runs into Curvers.
Body.
Knocked down right there. Exactly. Shutt plays it out to center ice. Lafleur intercepts. Right wing, Lafleur. Tries to center it. Taken out of the play by Fox. Now they say move it, and they do. Fox falls. Shutt's going to get a penalty.
Yeah. Here comes
Shetton
Dion.
has it. Dion out of the net.
Look at Lafleur back check. Boy, oh boy.
Blake said
on the power play.
Bodger at the point, loses the puck and loses his balance. Gainey almost tipped it ahead. Carbonneau would have been in alone. Lemieux winds up with a shot, and Robinson again cuts over and deflects it. Mickey, you talked about that as he winds up. Flockhart from the line with a shot, and Robinson made the save there with he screened and out of position. Penguins with pressure on right here in the early period of this penalty to Steve Shutt. Puck comes back again. Flockhart. Lemieux. Centering pass to Boutet. In front. Penny the save. Babbage was right there at the goal crease, and Steve Penny.
To the net, there it comes. 66 Lemieux coming in from the side. Makes the pass in front. Babbage. And watch the stick right there. Boy, oh boy, that was close. I'll tell you. I didn't see it the original time. I knew Robinson got hit, but watch this on the replay. Watch this stick come up a Boutet on Robinson. Right here. Oh, you see his head go? Oh, boy. Very close to the eye. Robinson now skating around, shaking it off. Fortunately not cut and no damage.
Bullard working against Carbonneau. Lemieux on the left point here on the power play. That comes back to Chelios, who plays it around behind the Canadiens' net. In the corner, Curvers, and he backhands it down the ice. The thing about Curvers, Mickey, those of us watching the exhibition games, really couldn't believe for a while just how much ice time Jacques Lemaire was giving him.
Well, he's getting lots tonight. You know, he looks bigger than 5'10", 180 pounds out there. Looks very strong.
Shedden chasing the puck and can't control it in the Montreal zone. Chelios turning and then shooting it off the boards and down the ice.
Boutet.
Who'd he go after?
He went after Chelios and he just got a piece of him, and Boutet looked like he got the worst of it. The crowd reacting to it.
Here is Lemieux. Bodger stopping inside the line, off his stick. It's fed ahead by Naslund. Here's Naslund in alone. Stops as he's hit the shot away. He does, and he was in too close. Again, the pass was made by Curvers. And Naslund was in alone on a breakaway. And the Penguins here are going to be called for icing on their own power play.
Yeah. Look what he does. He stopped. He completely stopped. Like he's saying, how do you do, Michelle? We're going to talk about a few things here. He stopped. That's very, very European. The way the European players do not shoot the puck like the Canadian-American players do. They go in and blast it. But the Europeans like to make the fancy play, and they like to get everybody standing still. And there's a good example of it there with Naslund trying to freeze Dion. He just tried to get it underneath his right arm and couldn't do it. It deflected wide. Dion has been under fire tonight. He's made a lot of good stops. Once again, a look at Robinson. The Boutet stick coming up and cutting him right here. You see his head turn around, and fortunately, I don't think it's near the eye area, but obviously Larry cut being attended to at the bench.
Shutt has 5 seconds left to serve in his penalty. Flockhart to the Canadian zone. Back pass to Mantha in the corner, and Shutt is out of the box, out in front for Fox. Scores! Penguins, Greg Fox, not a power play goal, but one which started on a power play rush. And with 3:53 to play, third period, the score is now 4-2 Montreal.
Well, it's Steve Shutt. I don't know if he was really back into the play or not. There you see Montreal setting up the 4-man box. I don't think Shutt had time to get back in. He had just come out of the box and was just starting to come into the screen. But Fox, there's Steve Shutt now, a little bit late. So for all purposes, a power play goal, but it won't go into the books as that. 4-2. As Greg Fox beat Steve Penny low to the glove side.
Robinson back out there now. Chabot to the right side for Deblois. Walter, Deblois, and his shot was wide. Walter failing to click on a deflection try as it got by him. What do you think of Deblois' chances period? Naslund. Svoboda in his own line, and this is Deblois. Chabot to Walter. On a back. The pass. Flockhart, who intercepted it, lets it go, and Penny to save. Keogh follows in, and the Penguins came awfully close to making it a one-goal hockey game. Great chance that time for Flockhart, and Penny stood his ground. Hey, Mick, it was almost 4-3.
You're not kidding. They got a little bit of a rile going down here. Flockhart and Svoboda, as they wrestle, both still got the gloves on. Right in front of the Pittsburgh bench, and now
16 minutes, 56 seconds.
Oh, this is after the good scoring chance by the Penguins. There's Flockhart taking Svoboda out against the glass. And they don't even get their gloves off, but they're going to sit it out for a couple of minutes with 3 minutes to play here in the hockey game. 4-2 Montreal.
Bullard at center ice. We're going down to the Maritimes tonight, and the Canadiens have a new head coach that's familiar down there to hockey fans, Jean Perron, who had great success at the University of Moncton for several years, working now with Jacques Lemaire and Jacques Laperriere. Here's a chance for the Penguins, and a flip pass gets by Bullard. Teams playing 5 aside with 2:40 left in the third period. Canadiens had a 3-0 lead at the end of the first period. They have scored once in this third period, and the Penguins twice to make it 4-2. Curvers, cross-ice pass for Chilios with Bullard watching. He plays it off the boards. Bodger tips it back, and Naslund steals it from Bullard at the Montreal line. That's Naslund. Naslund can't get by Bodger, who knocks him down. McPhee follows in on the play, rolls it to the side of the crease. Shedden comes up with the puck as he beats Chilios to it. Now we're going to fight him back behind the Pittsburgh net with Ross Buskus and Mike McPhee.
Well, these two do get the gloves off.
You know, this might be another reason that linesmen are starting to wear helmets as Wayne Bonney is here tonight, because they get caught once in a while.
They sure do.
Trying to get in.
Well, these two guys, McPhee and Buskus, had each other all tied up as McPhee made a good move to the left of Michel Dion. Get the puck out in front of the net. They'll be done for the night, I'm sure, with only 2:11 to go. Tell me they're going to put him in the penalty box. That wouldn't make any sense. You see how it started over here now with McPhee being tied up by Buskus, and they just had to hold each other too long, and they finally decided to drop the gloves and see who could get the best of each other. And away they go.
Now we'll take a look at what's happening elsewhere around the NHL. The Islanders winning, as we said, an overtime goal by Mike Bossy. The Red Wings leading New Jersey 4-1, and Hartford has beaten Boston 3-2. Hey, that's a nice-looking new scoreboard we have.
Sure is.
Canada. Calgary with Paplinsky getting the penalty shot goal, making it 5-2 over Quebec. And Toronto in the third period leading Buffalo. It's 3-2. Philadelphia and Washington tied at the Capitol Center in the third period. The Rangers and Minnesota tied in the second at the Sports Center.
The players now in the National Hockey League are wearing them. If you can get used to them, it's darn good protection.
I mentioned Van Helleman had one on the other night. In Buffalo, Mantha, right wing, into the Canadian zone. In the corner with Robinson checking him. So is Carbonneau, who comes up with the puck and brings it out to center ice. Carbonneau to Green. Moving inside the line against Fox. They battle. Lemieux plays it along on the boards. Babbage picked up Mantha. Against Robinson to Babbage. Drop pass for Mantha. Shot weak and wide. Fox picks it up off the backboard. 1:35 left in the third period. The Canadiens with a 2-goal lead. Fox to Babbage, who turns back to Fox. Cross to Mantha. He winds up. His shot blocked by Carbonneau, and he's hurt. And he is on the ice, and he has not got to his feet yet.
Oh,
they score!
Look out.
Score to make it 4-3 with 1:18 left.
And
Carbonneau is really hurt.
He's still down, Dick. He blocked the shot, which Guy Carbonneau does so well, so often. As the Penguins put the pressure on, and I'm not sure where he took the shot, whether it was high in the body or whether it was on the ankle or feet, the knee area. But he went down like a ton of bricks, and he is still down, obviously.
Possession of the puck.
Where does it get him, Dick? Left ankle. Left instep. Right underneath the ankle. The shot by Mantha, but you're right. Pittsburgh had complete control all the time that Carbonneau was down in pain now. As everybody's sort of watching Carbonneau down, Babbage in front of the net, and it went right between Steve Penny's legs. And it may have been Mo Mantha who took the shot that hurt Carbonneau that got credit for the goal.
It was Mantha with a goal and 2 assists here tonight, and now we've got a 1-goal hockey game. We'll keep our eye on Dion.
You bet.
As the Penguins might try for the extra skater nearing the last minute of the third period. Bullard behind the net. Svoboda comes out of the box along with Flockhart into the final minute of play, and here comes Dion. They shoot the puck into the Canadian zone. Chilios with it. Intercepted by Shedden. The puck is deep in the Canadiens' end of the rink. Chilios plays it around the boards. Cromley tries to slash it past Bodger and can't. Now it's flipped high down the ice. It's going to be wide. Mondu outracing Hillier for it. Is there icing? No. I'm not sure about that call, but meanwhile, play goes right on, and the Canadiens get a break. Mondu falls at the line. Now it's Bodger playing at the Flockhart. Cromley picks it up. He shoots it off Hillier's stick. 20 seconds left as Bodger shoots it around back behind the empty Pittsburgh net. Shedden, a cross-ice pass. Flockhart after it. Intercepted by Cromley. Flips it over last goal. There's Mantha's shot.
I don't think Babbage did get a piece of it. He sort of screened Penny in front and went right underneath Steve Penny, but just 12 seconds left now. Timeout called, I believe, by Pittsburgh as Barry gives instructions to his gunners. Face off outside the Montreal zone.
Okay, 12 seconds indeed, Mickey. But the face-off is outside the blue line, and that's a break for Montreal as you see the time remaining here in the third period. Fans are starting to sing that song that only you and our crew knows the exact title of, but they weren't singing it very on defense. But Penguins win the draw into the Canadian zone. It's to the line for Mantha. Can't get set for a shot or a pass. Players fall. 3 seconds left. 2. It happened, but with the face-off in the face-off circle, Mick.
That's right.
Now, who is going to be the gunner who is in behind the line of scrimmage here? Boutet and Walter on the face-off. No, sorry. Carbonneau had Bullard on face-off. Boutet and Walter were cheek to cheek. And the game is over.
At no extra cost on 85 Escort and Lakes.